Well, I think we're live. Hi, hello. Let me see. I need to have this in front of me. Yes, I'm live. Good. I have just to check if this is working. So, if you can hear me, I guess. So, how are you? I hope you are all well. I haven't done this in a very long time. Well, just because I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't feeling. I mean, if I wasn't feeling well, I'm coming back to that. I'm just not. That's not true at all. I mean, it has been a very very heavy time for the last few months, years even, and I've gone through. Yeah, this last few months, I would say, um, in a heavy way, and so I really have been somehow taking care of myself. That was necessary, and so I'm quite happy that I've been able to do that. That, that I've given myself the space to do it. So let me just, I think I'm going to just have him come in so that what I'm saying will make more sense because it's always better when I let when I integrate the bigger part of me into what I'm saying, and I let my guide and my global self come in and talk. Right. So here we are. It has been a long way coming. Uh, if you are watching, listening, well, congratulations. You survived. You survived one of the biggest period of change, one of the most heavy period of change that you have known well in your lifetime. But in generations, probably that is, yeah, not exaggerated. And so, yeah, congratulations. It has been difficult. It's still difficult as you are going to integrate the change, as you're going to uh, go through them and experience them. Even if everything looks like the same, your word is not the same at all. Um, and with that, it will be appearing point. You will notice it. Some of you, at least, are already noticing it, and some will be noticing it because you have mm, received this gift of change. Well, it's a gift. Can we say that? Yeah. For some, it's gonna look like something that is not a gift because of all the difficulties, all the things that you have been through, you're still going through. It's not over yet. And when we say it's not over, it's the integration. The part of change changes that. It's there. It's happening, and there's no way to go back to stop it. As the way you've been able to see it, perceive it, the change that you have had in the position of planets. Every planet have changed. Planet, external planet, um, have changed position in the sky, and they have a influence over you. You see, that is right. Yeah, put on just it's the way it right, and so every planet changed, and that energy has pushed you to change as you word, but you also as human being. So in the last, well, 5 years, since 2020, you could say, it started you can put, yes, as a point of start of what is happening. It's a long way, but let's say COVID, 2020 COVID. And since then, you haven't had any moment to breathe and to recuperate. You've been in it constantly. So you're tired and you're not feeling well. Most of you are not feeling well, one way or another. And if you have been paying attention, the last months, some people have left. Many people have sick or had accidents or had losses or had anything in a huge happen. And being sick during this period meant coughing for months, months, having heavy diseases, pneumonia, needing having surgeries that then do not go well, have to be repeated, or something else has to be done. And you can see around you so many, so many, so many. Right, and so that was part of the transitioning of what was happening, of the change, and now you are transitioning into the new you, the new world in a very sustained way. And things are gonna really appear different soon. That pays attention. The people will not notice it, but you can notice it already. Um, as of me, Max, the last few months have been, and here more, um, have been heavy, difficult going through it all. I've been, well, fighting against everything, actually, especially against divine timing. Something that I've found, had written sometime, some years maybe ago, that I have understood divine timing. And look at me in 2025 fighting against divine timing and screaming and asking and um, asking for things and saying it has to happen now, blah blah blah, things like that, and obviously, well, you can fight against divine timing. There's no reason why one shouldn't do that. If one wants to, one can fight divine timing. Um, However, I can already say what that is, that the outcome of that is that you'll lose. You cannot win. Divine timing means happen exactly the moment they happen. Not happen before or after. They happen exactly the moment they happen. Send it to myself. Is good. Um, so well, yeah, and I fought my battle and it went exactly the way it had to go. So I didn't obtain anything because, um, well, it's not about because is just that that was not the timing. So the timing is different from what I wanted. And I was fighting because I knew that the time was not there and I didn't want to wait for the moment to come. I didn't want to wait for divine timing, right? And divine timing means also that, you know, as a human being, you think, oh, I have to do things. I have to make things happen. Divine timing is just saying, well, you can make things happen as much as you want. You can waste your energy as much as you want. Do it. No one stops you. However, it will not work because divine timing again means it's gonna happen exactly the moment it happens, not before, not after, and any action you take will not change that. It doesn't mean that everything is predetermined, far from that. But what your main point, main thing, those are coming together. You work towards that. You have your lifetime of decisions, of experiences, of anything that are bringing you there. And you can take you can deviate from it. You can do whatever, but you will get that meaning point. So in divine time, that moment in your time where things are are happening, right? When that thing that you want to happen, and I realized that for me that was I was fighting, I was going against it because I knew that it was not time. I wouldn't have fought if it was happening, right? And I lost passion. I lost my balance. And to be honest, I didn't want to be here anymore. This year is just garbage. It has been garbage. What is happening is just unacceptable. And I mean, I've heard people saying there's a meaning why this is happening. And I have to say about that that is rubbish. This is not happening for a purpose. There is no purpose. It's happening because it's happening. That's all. It's not because there is someone that has a divine goal of changing humanity for the better, even if they are doing bad things. That's just people not able to accept reality. People that are not that are inventing some coping mechanism. Oh, there's a purpose in it. No, there isn't. Abuse is abuse. And we're coming to the I will talk about abuse. Um, But to me, the level of abuse, the level of hate that have been expressed in this 2025, and knowing that people that have taken power, even if there's a lot of other people that are not showing their faces, um, these people are just abusers. They're there to take advantage. They're there to destroy. Abuse is abuse. And I know that that there are some that are saying that, oh, we are planning it. We agreed on it. And to that I call BS. We didn't agree on it. We have, yes, we have ideas, we have intentions to create situation, but it's always the potential. We take its potential is not see the difference between saying, "Oh, this is happening because it's programmed. This will have happened anyway." That's not. It's happening because abusers, and that's where the thing is not right. We say, "Oh, we agree on it. We have a contract. We agreed on it." Yeah, right. So and it's so what happens is that in a past life you kill. So in this life I kill you, right? So you were my abuser in a past life, and now in this life I'm your abuser. Yeah, that's BS. And that's BS easily demonstrated because even though there's an abuse that happened in a past life, in this life, you have the choice. There's the choice. Abusing back is not the finality. It's not what must happen. It's a potential, not a finality, not an obligation. So the person, every user has the choice not to abuse. It's a choice every single abuser has. So if we had a contract that I abuse you, so now you have to abuse me, then that means that the abuse must. But the thing is that there's no, no, that's not how it goes. So you have the choice not to do it, and guess what? What happens when you choose not to abuse? Healing. Healing happens. The biggest, the best healing ever. So, yeah, the idea that abuse is programmed, yeah. Nice try. Nice try. That's not how it works. Sorry. Not sorry. Um, and so, 2025 is simply that, is abusers that have decided to go through with it, and people are, right, just losing it and going through a lot. Now, that is what is going on. Now, personally, that then yourself personally, what the external, okay, that's that. Now, internally, personally, that awakens my trauma. That awakens my experiences. That awakens a lot of things in me that I have to deal with. So to me, and to everyone at their own way. Um, that has been heavy, has been the thing that I needed to do for myself because I decided to complete because yeah, that's how I decided to go through and to experience, to allow myself the space to do that work for myself, but also do the work for the collective because that is what I'm here to do, to be of service and to help guide in the physical as much as in the non-physical. And so to me, that is what divine timing now means is that first I had to do it in the non-physical before making it in physical. Physically, that is me, which was something that I didn't want to see or admit or accept for some time. So I made it harder on myself, but harder, yes, but you know, um, without I wouldn't say that I put myself into suffering, um, because that is not necessary to suffer to advance. And again, here and here, thinking forward, being ahead of my time. I'm not the only one, obviously, but this is something that it's still not. Um, it's still we're not still there in accepting that suffering is not necessary for suffering. Bringing that suffering, that pain, um, as a belief system, not because there's a need, not because there is a agreement or contract, whatever you want to call that BS, um, but simply because in the core belief system that we're applying to Earth now, suffering is there. And even people that have understood that suffering is not a necessity, they are still covering for it. So we are still creating suffering for ourselves because we don't know, we are not yet there in accepting 100% and fully that it's not necessary. Um, and for me, I'm on that path of bringing myself out of that belief. Because, when you understand, when you learn about, our divine timing, so how that is applied, you learn that in your lifetime, you have several, um, main points where you have the opportunity to go one direction, right? In the direction you are, let's say, supposed to go, but you don't have to. You can choose another direction. Um, his example is one that wants to become a healer, but yeah, that's more close to home. But they have a job, monetary job, and this person has to leave the job in order to become the healer they want to be. They have a opportunity to leave the job and enter into that experience, that new experience of healing work. Because let's say there is a moment where they lose a job, so they can just lose the job and enter into something new, or they can go in and look for another job, corporate, right? And that happens. The choice is there. What you choose, it's what you choose. You don't have to. You can. So the choice is always present. Now, what will happen is that if you don't take that, let's say when you are 25, you'll have that, let's say at 30, you will have an experience that gives you that choice. Yeah. Whether you take it or not, again, it's your choice. However, what is, let's say, the tendency here is that every time you do not make that choice, your experience will be such that it will push you what you really want to choose. What is your um, intention as a global being, let's say, right? What you had decided to experience, um, and depending on what it is, uh, well, you can go through horrible experiences. If you are able to make that choice in the beginning, when that choice is given you the first time, it's gonna be a easier path, let's say. But the more you resist and the more you take that path, it will be indicated to you more clearly that that is what you have to charge, what you should, right? Because that's what you want. Not that the other choice is choosing differently is not allowed. It's that, no, no. um, anyway, so and you will meet people, you will have experiences, but there even it doesn't mean that these people that you will meet and help you in choosing what is there to be chosen. It doesn't mean that these people have an agreement with you or a contract with you. They are potential. A potential is different from a contract. It will give you an idea of something that has to be done, something that is programmed and must happen exactly that way, which is BS. Reality doesn't work that way. It works with potential opportunities, experiences. You have the potential to do something, but you don't have to. Even if, I mean, obviously, if that's what, then you are indicated, you are given the opportunity and push, and it's becoming more clear every time. But I mean, divine time can is what you have chosen for yourself, what you want for yourself, one way or another. And I mean, these are things that we think we are understanding, we do not fully and completely understand them. It's always giving a point. So this is something that becomes more important to understand because the divine and the fact of being able to choose for yourself what you really want to experience. And sometimes the experience, what you want to experience is the process of getting there. Is because and remember that that experience, once you have experienced that, once you have it, it's something that you have it in you as a global being forever. So that's why it's so um, interesting for the global self to go through it, knowing that the choice exists. So if you have a choice, you have an experience, or you do not choose that, you choose something else. That's how you know how it is, how it goes. What is the experience of going the direction you want to go? You want to know also what it is when you go in another direction. that basically, right? This is um, the the path, the path of divine timing, where you get to that point where you have the choice and you get to let's say obtain or experience or get whatever that be. And for everyone is different. We're not all of us on the same path, on the same discovery, same experience. So you know that has that's difficult for human beings to understand. Even though you are in the same reality, on the same world, supposedly, um, you have different direction, different life experiences. You are here. So it can be conflicting for one part. Well, you may not have meet, right? You may not be in the same space as someone that has a completely different um, life experience. Uh, there's no reason, no way. And what you are now able to understand is that in building your experience, in coming into your experience, what is happening to you is that you will have exactly what you need. It's very difficult for you to understand this. As human being, you have been taught that you live in lack and that you don't have enough and there is never enough, which is what the experience that is happening with the United States is about, is people that think that they don't have enough, even though they have more than enough, more than anyone else. They want more because they feel that they don't have enough. They feel that they are superior, right? That they deserve more than anyone else, and they are completely disconnected. They are not in their bodies, disconnected from reality. So they think, oh, that right, you want all of that. But that is not because they don't need more. They already are able to create abundance for themselves and they still don't recognize it, right? So now the reality is that you have received exactly what you need. Your problem is that you're looking at it from a point of view of lack and a point of view that things are not happening all together to give you what you want, what you need, or the experience that you are looking at, right? It may take time to put it completely together. And it may take time for you to be ready to get there. Because divine time is that bringing you to be ready for the moment you are ready. And it's happening, which implies healing work, call it shadow work. It implies confronting your trauma from other lifetime or from this lifetime or from your family, from wherever that trauma you need to confronting it and heal it because that's the way you get ready in divine time. But you, as a human being, you're not saying that. You're not seeing all the work you are doing, whether it's in the physical or in non-physical, things are happening. And taking action doesn't mean acting in the physical. It means that you are taking action. You do. take action. Whether you are conscious of it or not, it's not the point. The point is that you are taking action. You do. And then you have moments where you are inspired, where you can take certain actions that are needed in the physical world. Yes, absolutely. But that's the completion. That's when you get to the point. Right? That's when you have the thing. Oh, you need to do this now. Okay, I do it. Okay, do it. Great. But that is the completion of so many things that are happening beforehand, bring you to be ready to take that action. So the action starts way before you're ready to do it in the physical. But to you, you have only the idea of the physical, so you have the idea that you need to take action constantly in the physical, and that action has to take certain to be done in a certain way, and not in another way, just that way that you think it's the way to bring you there. Well, again, if you want to do it, and you are doing it, and not doing something very often creates anxiety in many human beings. So if that's what you prefer, by all means, do it. You have to be you, right? You have to do what you feel for yourself. The thing is that that is not necessary because the action that you need to take, you will take it in the moment you need to take it. That's divine timing. It happens exactly when it happens. You need it to happen in that. So it's something that you are confronted right now because so many have been giving you information about things that have to happen and they have to happen when they are going to happen and blah blah blah, and they never seldom they happen when they say they should happen because they are getting the information of something that is going to happen, but it's not happening in your timeline. It's happening in another, and that is something that you're not always aware of. It feels correct, it looks like correct, but it's another time, not the timeline. So, um, right now, your understanding and your experiencing of divine time is something that you can observe. It's something that you can it's something that you can have an idea of what it is as you are going through what is still, right, in a changing mode, in integrating the change, making it into the physical. It has already happened in the non-physical. So you're going to see it implemented, entering into the physical world in a spectacular way in some moments, in a more subtle way in other moments, but it's there and it's already happened. But the main thing that many of you have been waiting these last few months, now that you will know when it happens. You can't spend time on it, and don't. Better not, because you have to allow it to hold on your preferred reality. That you can do, but do not hold on a outcome, and do not try to visualize what that outcome is because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna help you, spend time out of your body because that brings you out of your body. Stay in your body and stay in what is your fair space, that protect, stay in the love, stay in what makes you happy. Feel the love, feel the happiness. It's there. Even if the external world doesn't look that yet, it's coming. And the way it's coming, you will know when it's happening. But that change is there. And so you are now able to understand what divine timing is and how it's expressed in the collective, but mainly for yourself. And that what needs to happen is happening. People that need to be there for you are there for you. So open yourself up. And again, you have to do what makes you feel best, better. Do not force yourself into a behavior that is not natural for you. Or if you want to change your behavior, have to know what the change is, why you need it in order for you to express yourself in a way that corresponds better to the change that you are expressing. And yes, a word about more specifically, mm, what is happening is an abuse. It's many abusers, many abuses, and a war is happening now. Not the war that many people have been predicted. That war is not gonna happen. Sorry, not sorry. It's not. People are predicting World War III. World War III already happened, folks. It's called Cold War. And the fact that you don't have bombs exploding on your head, the fact that you don't have guns shooting everyone, the fact that you don't have a traditional way of expressing war, it doesn't mean that it's not war, and it doesn't mean that that wasn't global. It was global. And sometimes you had bombs exploding. Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan. I mean, you had enough of those things happening, but they were more local. At the global stage, you had two powers, the United States or capitalism, and the Soviet Union or communism fighting for world dominance. That happened in the 90s when that came to a truce and in the 90s when Union disintegrated and ended and all these new countries were getting their freedom and so on. So World War III already happened, and now you even have World War IV. Even that, it's not happening in the way you were expecting it to happen because it's happening online. It's happening in the chats. It's happening in the information. It's happening as a global influence that some are trying to gain. And the battleground is internet, is in the let's say non-physical expression. of of the exchanges and information. So you see what people are expecting, which is World War IV, gone. Done. World War III, it's done. You're done with it. It's not going to repeat itself. And so now, hmm, that's the way you are expressing. That's what is out. And obviously, then you have physical experience, very painful, horrible. People are dying, literally, because of what is happening, or will die because of the idea, if you want, but because of the concrete actions that have been taken by people that are not in their bodies, and refuse to be in their bodies, and refuse to have empathy, refuse to have any kind of love. Obviously, first for themselves, but then for anyone else, and uh, are expressing a lot of hate. Um, and that, right, is part of the change, or that is used to implement change, to bring the change. But it's used because it's there, not because it was necessary to have this. Again, the choice that abusers do to abuse. They don't have to. They can choose different. And it's another way of saying it, obviously, but it's also a way to say you are not guilty for the abuse that you have been exposed. You did not agree on it. Um, so the pain is real, suffering is real, right? It's happening. People are going through it. And it's important, though, not to fall into conspiracies or into being out of your body and believing um, things that are being said and that are just really taking you out of you, and pushing you towards not feeling well and not being well with yourself and not being really able to hold on to you, because your body is your temple, which means that that is where you are the most powerful. That's where you have the most resources, your disposition. If you are out of your body, you lose it. You can't access it the same way anymore. And you are more exposed to that kind of rhetoric, that kind of out of body experience. And you are a human being. You have a body. It's part of the experience. You have to be in your body. It's the way it's supposed to be. If you're not in your body, you're not able to have the experience at its fullest and at its most powerful. And so you need your body. It's I mean, we understand the fact that it's heavy and it's hard. It has been really very heavy and really very hard, especially this last year. And the last few months have even been worse. Yeah, we do understand that. And no one wants to take that away from you. that's how you're feeling, that's how it is. However, the necessity of being in your body is still there. It's helping you and supporting you. It's protection. It's everything you need. It's nourishing you. It's your body. It does feel heavy. It does feel disconnected sometimes. It does feel painful at times. Yes, absolutely. No one truth from any of you. Nevertheless, again, the human experience is based on the fact that you have a human physical body, a human body, and um, and that's part of it. There's going around. So being out of it, that's why people that are um, validating all the BS of MAGA, all the BS of these liars, and they are believing those things and acting on those things, right? And all the hate that they're feeling against the wokeism, against liberals that are evil devils, and these people are hating an idea. They are hating something that doesn't exist. The liberals wokes that they are hating is a fantasy. It's not real. But that becomes their belief because so how their bodies that I mean, believing that actual human beings are evil and clear devils, demons. I mean, come on, it's human beings. How can you believe that? But they do because they're not in their bodies. It's very easy to sell them stories that are not true and make them fall into it. If you're in your body, connected with yourself, then you have your tools to defend yourself and to understand that those people are trying to sell you a story that is not true. You have your tools. If you're not in your bodies, you don't have those tools. Or those tools are so remote from you that you are just exposed to whatever. That's the case of all these people. That's the case of people that are religious, because religion pushes you out if very often, right? And even if you are religious, you can be in your body. Embrace a more grounded way of seeing things, of expressing and embracing, right? You can be in your body and be religious. It's not something that you cannot do. Is that, however, it makes it easier for people to get alienated. Healing is available to all of you, and um, very important. You are worth it, right? Your worth, your existence is the proof that you are worthy, that you are worthy of love, that you are worthy of everything. And it doesn't matter what your experience has been up until now, doesn't matter what you have done. You may have been an abuser, you may have done horrible things. You're still worthy of love, you're still worthy of everything. And that's the you truth about any of you. Um, so find that love, accept that love, accept your worth. It's a journey rediscovering yourself because you have it. Everyone, there's no exception. As right, human beings are adopt that from infants on. So you have to clean yourself from those um, positions, those ideas, those things, and then you have to embrace yourself a new way, in find a new way of loving yourself. And really, you're worth of it. You are worth it, and you deserve it. And it's a discovery, and this has been my journey during this years to learn my worth in a new way, at a new level of understanding, of accepting, abandon myself into the trust, into the love of myself, of me. Um, because at the end of the day, that is what makes a difference, is to find that trust, abandonment into yourself, into that trust that you're there for you and you have it. You're not going to let yourself down, to abandon yourself. If that's not your path, right, and you will never abandon yourself, but I mean, if your path is not path of discovering something painful, there's no reason why you will go. Because there are people that are experiencing those painful path, um, again, not because they are necessary, but because that's what their decision is, to have those path, right, for themselves. Again, it doesn't mean that you have to, but right, right? We don't know what it takes. And right now, again, as to believe in pain is still there, then the choice that many are doing is that choice of pain. Not because they have to, but because they believe they have to believe. It's not a necessity. That's what many people are not understanding. It's not, "You must do that." No, you're choosing it because you don't know that you can choose differently. You're choosing it because you believe you have to. It's a belief system. It's a blueprint that you have in your collective and that eventually will happen and change. Feel very, very strong, right? So again, it's not that you are choosing because you want to be a victim. You're not choosing because you hate yourself. You're not choosing because it's necessary or whatever. It's because you don't know differently. And very often you make choices are mm, made because you don't know differently. You know you can do it, right? You can choose joy. And with joy, you can achieve exactly what you think you have to suffer for. No, joy can bring you there too. But you do it. So you are excluding joy and welcoming pain. Again, because you have to, not because you have a contract, not because it's whatever. Believe in it. Eventually, it's gonna change. And so that has been my experience, our experience in the end. Um, and now I'm ready to move forward, whatever that moving forward means, in whatever fine timing that is, whatever that means, and the evolution that is to be had for me. I don't need to, I just need to be there, present, which I will be because obviously I'm here and being here, I'll be here, there, whatever time, whatever, right? Um, and that's the same, and that's for everyone. And we will, each one in our way, discover what this new world, this new reality, what our new human self being is, and what that means, and what that gives us access to, and everything. Right? It's difficult for me to say because I've been told, and I realize that the things that I'm able to do was well, not everyone is able to do. Right? That's what you do things because that's all you know, right? I've been doing things in a certain way because that's all I know, and I thought that everyone was experiencing it, and I've been told, no, you don't, not really. That's why I'm challenging my way, not everyone else. It's because that's what I've always done. And anyway, take good care of yourself. Do you, and remember, if there is anything, one thing that can bring you with you, remember that you are worth, that you are loved, that you are loved, you are loved, and that your worth is what you are. It belongs to you now and forever. And and be it, feel it, and discover it. And ask for help if you don't know how to do it, if you are lost or whatever. Ask for help. Help will come. How you manifest that you can't know that it's gonna come and help you feel, discover, know your worth. In the love, the unconditional love that you are deserve to feel, have, receive, and that you are created from, right? We are all unconditional love. So there you go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your day, enjoy your journey, and I will be seeing you next. Bye bye.